Okay, hi, happy Monday. Thank you for being here. My name is Megan Dykstra. If we've never met, I know there's a few different people from different teams on here. I'm an Emerald with Plexus, and I've been with Plexus almost 7 years. At the end of this month, that'll be my seventh year. Um, and I'm really excited to have a guest speaker come on. Her name is Sarah Payne. She lives south of me, so I don't know, maybe 9 hours. We looked on the map at one point in Tennessee. And we actually met on a shopping spree bus. I think it was in Orlando. She had a baby with her. And I just remember chatting it up and found out she was a nurse. And so we had some stuff in common and we were talking. And I think we had both gone Emerald roughly around the similar timing. And so we've just been on a journey of kind of growing and chatting as people from completely different teams. One, having very similar hearts for ministry and for the Lord. And that is really what I love about Sarah. She is just so grounded in her faith. She has an amazing, incredible testimony. And that is really her main focus and goal in life is ministry and helping people experience freedom in Christ. And so that is her number one thing. She's had a lot of ups and downs in her business, which she'll share about. And I think for all of us that have been around for a while, we, one, need that encouragement, need the proof that it's possible to regrow, and need to hear the big picture outside of sometimes we get trapped in this like, oh, spiral sometimes if we're not feeling great about our business. But I just have seen the last few months, Sarah has just surrendered, one, again, her business to the Lord, but two, gained a really cool perspective in the last few months and seen God move in her business. And so I'm really excited for her to share just about what's been going on. And I know that there will be something that you guys will take away from it. And so just listen for that one nugget that pops out, write it down or put it in the chat when it's like, bingo, that was my light bulb moment. And so I'm just going to open this up in prayer and then I will let Sarah take the floor. Okay. Jesus, thank you for this space. God, I thank you for gathering just tons of stories from all over the country. Um, just to be here, maybe most of us started for a pink drink and for health and for hoping that something would change, not even realizing that all these other blessings would come. And so, God, we just thank you for relationships. We thank you for and this opportunity that maybe many of us even wrote off before we did this. But God, I thank you for opening our eyes to just new ways you want to work in our hearts and in our lives, not just to bless ourselves, but not even just to take care of our families, God, but to reach so many more people. Jesus, I pray for every single person here that they may experience more of your presence, that they would know how much you love them and the value that you've given them already, God, that we don't have to prove anything. God, would you bless Sarah tonight with her words? Would we just hear what we need to hear, God, that you would speak through her? In Jesus' name, amen. Okay.
My turn? Look at you guys. There are so many of you. This is so much fun. I just got off of, I see Amanda Poe. Hi. um, I just got off a call with my team. We also have a call on Monday night. So this is so much fun. Thank you guys for having me. Like she said, my name is Sarah Payne, and I live in a place called Turtletown, Tennessee. It is a real place. And it is so small that we just now in the last like 2 years have a Dollar General. So that's how big it is. So that's the first thing I want you to know is you are not limited by your zip code or anything else that you think will limit you from this business. Because if I can build to Emerald from Turtletown, Tennessee, you can certainly build from anywhere that you are. So I'm going to take just a second, a little about me. I started Plexus in April of 2019. I was in a mental health mess. It was a disaster. We had been dealing with it for, I don't even know how long. We called it, we literally called it hell because that's what it felt like. It had started out as like, we could track it with my periods, and then it got to the point where we couldn't track it anymore, and I was really just a crazy person most of the time. So I was seeing a holistic doctor. I was doing supplements. I was raised in alternative medicine. My grandmother's a reflexologist. I knew to do supplements. I knew that there's a root to this issue. I was having MRIs done, all of the lab work, all of the things. And the medical doctor's answers for me was compound hormones and antidepressants. No shame to anybody that chooses that path. But for me, I was like, that doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Something is seriously wrong with me. So somehow I found myself in a Plexus testimony group. All I knew about Plexus was that I had bought it off of Amazon one time and used it for a month, and it made me poop really good. That's all I knew. I didn't know any of the other things. And guys, I have a master's degree, like Megan said, in nursing education. I did not know the things that I know about gut health now with all of that education. With $50,000 in student loans, nobody ever taught me gut health and all the things that we all know. So I go down this rabbit hole, start looking. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe this could be an answer. There was a girl that I knew who lived in Nashville. She went to school here near where I live. She's sharing about this pink drink. I have no idea if you can help me, but I send her a message that's like this long. Like, I'm a crazy person. I don't think you can help me. This is the last thing that I can try. And then I'm going to add it to the list of things that didn't work, because things would work for a minute. They would work for like a month and then they wouldn't work anymore. I'm talking, I was a fitness lover who couldn't work out anymore because 5-pound weights were too heavy. I sat on the side of my bathtub to put my makeup on, like with my elbows propped up on the vanity, because I was too tired to put my face on and go out and act like a normal person in the world. Just constant self-loathing, just the torment in my mind. I would soak my clothes before I would even get to work. I was a school nurse at the time. Soak my clothes, have to ask my husband to bring me a dry shirt because I had sweated through my clothes, lay in my bedroom floor, cry, just crying out to the Lord, like, something is wrong with me, and like, you're going to have to help me. I don't know. I got to the point where I thought I would do my family a favor and just not be here anymore. I never acted on anything, but I had the thoughts, I had the plans. I knew exactly what I could do, should do. Like, this would be better for everybody. We had 2 children at the time. And I was like, how can these children be raised by me? It was a mess. It was awful. I look back at pictures now, I had so much inflammation in my face. And so I try this pink drink. I start out with triplex. I do everything that she tells me to do. I started talking to her like in the fall of 2018. I was one of those people. And then I didn't pull the trigger until spring of 2019. I did it. But when I did it, I went all in because I know consistency is a must. I know that you have to take things. I know that you have to listen. So I did everything she told me. And then in 2 weeks, I was falling asleep and waking up before my alarm and not waking up through the night. I took a side-by-side picture just to see what had happened, and the inflammation that had left my face was insane. So she had asked me to start sharing, and I'm like, absolutely not. I've been in Mary Kay before. I've had my hand in some other things. I'm not doing this. Don't even ask. And so in 2 weeks, I noticed these things. I'm like, how could I not? So I made a simple post of like my pink drink on my desk, I think. And the post said, come on, gut health. That's all it said. And then people are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's in that cup? And like, so then I panic and I message her. And I'm like, help. I don't know what I just unlocked here. So I start sharing, just like, if I feel better, there's other people who must need to feel better as well. Like, the first 3 people I helped were my mom, somebody from church, and somebody from work. It was that simple, just because they're like, well, if you're trying it, I want to try it too. And it just kept going. I never fast started anything. Like, I went fairly quickly, but I never got any fast start bonuses or anything like that. But I kept growing consistently. I started, like I said, in April of 2019, entered into a leaders retreat contest. Didn't know what in the world. Didn't think I had any reason to go to San Diego, but I was like, this could be fun. Whatever. So I start working. I just keep sharing. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just kept sharing and adding people. And my grandmother earned it because she signed up under me as well. And so, like, my husband, my mom, my grandmother, and I got to go to San Diego. And I think that was when I was like, I'm here. I still didn't know what I was doing here. I don't know what this is, but I remember Jennifer Leith gave an amazing message that day about airplanes. I don't even remember what it was, but it was beautiful. And I was like, wow. And you know what, I remember being there. Jennifer Leith is in my upline somewhere. I don't know if you all, I know some of you know her, but she found me in the lobby. I'm like her level 4 or something like that. And she found me in the lobby to like say hi and hug me. And I was like, wow, I'm special. But, you know, and I just remember always feeling so special at Plexus events. Well, that's 2019. And then I was able to use my paycheck save up my paycheck, and we took our family to Disney for Christmas in 2019. And then my husband and I started seeking the Lord, and we always wanted me to be able to stay home, but we couldn't make it look good on paper. Every time we wrote it down on paper, we were negative lots of money every single month. But we're like, you know what? Maybe. And at this point in Plexus, I think I was gold. I might have been senior gold, but we had a what if. So on a what if and a leap of faith and just a lot of hope, we came home. I came home. He didn't come home. We made the decision that I would come home in February of 2020. And we all know that COVID happened in March. And it was kind of like I had decided that I was going to finish the school year, see it through summer, and then I just wouldn't go back to work. Well, it was kind of like the Lord was like, I see your step of obedience here. Here's COVID. Not that God sent us COVID. I don't believe that at all. But it was kind of like I got a head start on the obedience step that I got to take. So we all got sent home in February, and I got to finish out writing out my career while at home, and then never went back. And so I went Ruby in 2020. We had massive rank ups that summer of 2020. We all did. And then I maintained that for a couple of months. And then I didn't rank Ruby again for a year. But then that next year, I re-ranked Ruby. And then we were in momentum. I went Ruby. I went senior Ruby in like 2 months. And then I went Emerald in April. And this business has been so much fun, but it's been so much learning. You're always told about the ebbs and flows of this business. It's absolutely a thing, and I have gone through all of it. So I went Emerald in April of 20. What year would that have been? I don't remember. 22. Thank you. Me and Megan went the same month, and I had all the things, all the feelings like, well, that was a fluke. I'm definitely an imposter here because I don't know how this happened. I don't know how to lead this kind of team. I can't do this. And what had happened is we had a lot of people who came in. We had a lot of people who liked the idea of a lot of fast money, but we had a lot of people who couldn't see the long game. And I didn't know yet at that point in my business how to help people see the long game, how to vision cast for people like we're here and we're here to stay. So we had like fast start senior rubies who were out because they couldn't hang with the pressure that comes with that kind of growth and that kind of customer base and those kinds of things. And we had people who loved the idea of doing it, but had too many excuses to follow. So Emerald fell away, and it just kind of was a slow fade, and it was exhausting, and it was awful. It felt so awful to me, but it's been so much growth in that. So I'm just going to jump forward to where we are now because it's kind of been just one of those up and down, up and down. I think I see light again. And then it's like, oh my gosh, again. And so I found myself this summer back at square one, literally at square one. Because I've had, people come and go. I can get people through the first few ranks and then they're not here to stay. I can get people to do a few things, but they're not here to stay, or they life happens and they can't hang when life's happening and all of these things. So this summer, it was in August, we were actually on vacation. I had prayed and I'm like, God, I need a miracle this month. Like, I just need a little glimpse of why I should be here and why I need to stay. And I can't remember exactly what the incentive was in August, but I earned that incentive, and it was an add 6 incentive. I was on vacation and added like 4 people on vacation, just day after day after day. I was adding people, and it was crazy. And so a couple of the girls were my miracles that month, just as far as customers go. And I'm going to tell you about these 2 girls that I have. I am big on, if you're not doing this, and I'm sure many of you are, go through your stories when you're posting your stories, see who has viewed your stories, and reach out to those people. Because one of these girls was a dream teamer that I used to stare at when we did classical conversations together like years ago. And I would sit and stare at her at the playground and be like, man, we could do this life together. But I was never bold enough to say it to her because I'm like, she's crunchy-ish enough like me. Like, she knows all the health things. I hear her talking about supplements to other moms and these protocols that she's doing. And I'm like, oh, I just need her to be with me. But I never asked. But I saw her in my stories. And so I reached out one day and I was like, I am so sorry that I never asked, but I see you in my stories. Are you just taking a look, or is this something that you're considering? And she was like, I've been considering it, but I'm still breastfeeding, so I don't think I can. I was like, oh, well, lucky for you, you can. So we have that conversation. And it took a little bit of follow up. A lot of the, oh, look, here is a testimony that I think you would really relate to. I wanted you to see it kind of thing. And it took a while. It took a while of me stewarding that and checking back in with her. And she finally signed up. And I knew it was going to be a great thing. And of course, as soon as somebody comes in, I'm offering the opportunity for them to share right away. Like, at least bring one person along. Can you do that? She wasn't ready yet. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Like, you sit back, you take your products, and let's see how this goes. The other miracle that I signed up in August was my friend of 16 years who I had asked to do this with me when I started all this time ago. And she said, no, my husband won't let me. And she's a very dear friend. So I always just handled that cautiously. I never pushed the issue. I knew she needed it. I would watch her with her diabetic issues and all these things, like, oh my gosh, Kathy, you've got to be here. So she messaged me while I was on vacation, was like, when you get back from vacation, let's talk about Plexus. I was like, no, we're going to talk right now. Listen, I've been waiting 6 years to have this conversation with you. We're doing it right now. And all she wanted to do was consolidate her supplements to Plexus, because she was taking supplements and she liked her supplements. She just wanted to consolidate and thought she would benefit a friend. So she comes in August. Again, I offer it to her, like, you can share, you can do these things. And she's like, yeah, I kind of like that idea, but she wasn't ready yet. So Cancun contest starts in September, right? I went back and looked before this call. In September, the start of the Cancun contest, I earned 735 credits. I was on my own. Only 35 of those credits came from any level 2 work. 700 of it came from me because I was all alone. And I was going to be lucky to earn the trip, period. Period. That was me recruiting, and that was me retaining the people I had signed up over the summer. So October rolls around, and I ask again. If you're not asking people again, you're probably missing out on some gold, on some serious builders, because sometimes they just need a moment to sit back and say, okay, I think this is something I can do. So in October, I go back to these girls again, and I say, I think it was a Lululemon incentive that we had. This is what's on the line. You can make this much money and you can earn some Lululemon gift cards. What do you think? And they were both ready in October. And so in October, they both fast start silver. In November, they both fast start senior silver, and I earn founding member icon. In December, they both fast start gold. We have level 2 silver rank ups. They both earn Cancun by the end of the contest. We have many people who added one. And so I think my biggest encouragement for you is to just ask again. The people that you think that you might have asked too many times, or they don't want to hear from you again, or it's just so embarrassing, and like, I could never ask her, she's going to leave, she'll hate me. Don't, just ask again, because your new golds are in the people who you're not asking again, or it's the people that you're not praying for. So I swept the contest when in September it looked like I was barely going to make it, because I was all by myself, literally all by myself when this contest started. And then I swept it, and I get to take 2 people with me, and they get to take their husbands. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this, because I have earned the trips and I have swept the trips, and I haven't taken anyone with me since we went to the Gaylord in Orlando. It's been that long since anyone has gone with me. So I'm super excited for them. And I keep saying my biggest, there's several things that gets you to this place, is stop quitting. Seriously, just stop quitting. There are going to be times when you want to quit, and you're probably justified in quitting. Like, it really looks really bad, and you're probably justified in quitting, but just don't quit. I had actually, and the Lord brought this back to my remembrance at some point in December, that a few months ago, I didn't give him an ultimatum. It was just a conversation that I had with him. I'm like, Lord, I've been doing this for almost 7 years. Like Megan said, like ministry right now has got to be the main point right now because we're building a church and we have a lot of partnerships and we have a lot of outreach and we have a lot of things that we're doing. And I'm tired and we homeschool and we do all these things. So I was like, Lord, by the end of the year, if there hasn't been some kind of change that looks like I should keep pursuing it at this level, I'm just going to take a step back. I'm going to do this casually. Like, I love Plexus. I'm never not going to share Plexus, but I'm just going to take a step back and I'm going to share casually. He reminded me of that in December when we're just adding people daily. And I'm mapping out for these girls how to go fast start gold and how to earn Cancun and how to earn the next prize while they're in Cancun and all these things. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Because I'm certain that when I started in 2019, I felt called to these products and I couldn't explain it. I told everybody, I was like, I can't explain it, but I just feel like I have to be here. And then after I started taking the products and I started sharing, I was like, I know that I heard him say, tell the story and watch. And my story is gross and yucky. And like, you don't want to tell people that you wanted to kill yourself. That's not pretty. But there are so many people who are struggling with those things. And really, after 7 years, you get so tired of telling the same story, but somebody's got to hear that story. It's that one more time that you tell the story that's going to touch somebody and it's going to be the right person. It's the one more time that you reach out and you just ask again. Be like, is this month a better time to take a look? Is that one more? Tell the story one more time. Megan says one more time, one more day, one more person every single time. I have some notes here. And be so willing to lead imperfectly. I am not a perfect leader. I just know that I'm a consistent leader. I know that I'm a prayerful leader. I know that I can tell you the things to do and to help you. And I know that I'm willing to learn if you're willing to partner with me and learn alongside me. I'm willing to fail if you can have grace for me failing, if you can come in and trust the leader like that. And like I told you guys earlier, I wish I had a magic formula that says if you'll do these things, you're going to achieve all of your business goals. And I don't. But what I have to tell you is to quit. Stop quitting. Stop quitting in your mind. Stop quitting for real. Just be so super consistent. And that's what I've always been. Even when my points were 300 and something, I'm still posting. I'm still acting like an emerald. I'm still loving the fact that Plexus treats me like an emerald. Plexus allows me to walk on the stage and do all these things. Like, I'm always going to carry myself like I know that I am and what I know is possible in this place. Reach out to people in your stories. Reach out to the people who are liking your posts. Even if you reached out 6 months ago, do it again. Reach out again. Be like, hey, I know you didn't answer me 6 months ago, but maybe now's a better time to have a conversation. If not, totally cool. And you have to be okay with them telling you no. It means nothing about you at all. It means nothing about you. It just means not right now. And be willing to pivot as a leader when your team comes on, because I was doing one thing that was working for me as a solo leader because I went to Jewels of Excellence back in July as like a last ditch effort. Me and my husband went so I could go to the trainings, and I picked up some nuggets from there. Gosh, it was amazing. And so I started doing Zoom events, 15-minute Zoom events for people to start sharing, and it was working fine for me. But since Super Saturday and what came out about the messenger events, my team is excited about messenger events. So I've pivoted and I'm like, if this is what you girls want to try, this is what we're going to do. Fine. I'm okay with trying messenger events. I will build you one and we're going to run with it and we're going to try it. And you need to get so super clear, because I have always been, you have to be discerning in who you partner with and who you choose to partner with. And there were seasons where I'm just like, I'll partner with anybody just because I want to help anybody, but you don't have to do that. You're not desperate. You're not desperate for people to come in. You're not desperate for customers. I have partnered with wrong customers that I should have turned away. And it reflected negatively on me and on them. And it was just yucky. But get very, very clear about who you want to partner with and who you want to build with and the people that you want to build and the types of leaders that you want to build. Because like I said, you're not desperate. God has the people for you. He has the right partners for you. He has the right customers for you. If somebody comes and the Lord just checks you and is like, not that one, that's not, and you just know in your in your gut that this is not the right thing. This is something my upline taught me that I can say is be like, you know what? I truly believe that you need these products, but I don't think I'm the one that can help you. Let me just take you to the Plexus corporate site and let the cards fall how they will. Plexus is going to match them with somebody. And there are a few times that I should have done that. But overall, just be very clear and then speak to that person when you post. It's that person that you want to speak to when you're posting. It's that person that you want to reach out to because they're viewing your stories. And then cast vision for these people without pressure. With my girls, and you have to learn your people's personalities and like what type they are. One of my girls, her name is Sarah. This is crazy. You guys can see my name on here. I'm Sarah Smith Payne. One of my girls is Sarah Smith. It's crazy. You should see my back office. I'm so confused half the time. But she's just like me. She's just like me, and she's figuring it out. She's building her own messenger events, and she is a blessing from the Lord. And then my friend Kathy, she is as well. She's very independent in doing the things, but I know how she gets. So when I'm mapping out for her how to fast start gold in December and how to earn Cancun, I map it out, I explain it to her, and then I say, this is possible for you, and I know you can do it, but I want you to enjoy getting there. So if this overwhelms you, we're not we're not striving, we're not pushing for something like I think you can do it and I'm here to hold your hand while you do it. But if it's going to be draining and if it's going to kill you and you're going to hate Plexus when it's over with and you're not even going to love that you got a trip to Cancun, we're not doing it. Not doing it. So you can cast vision without the pressure. And we want our people to enjoy getting there. And above all of it, just have integrity in your business. Don't be doing shady stuff. Don't be trying to cut corners and whatever some people do. Just have integrity and teach your people to have integrity and to build the right way. Because if we're building the wrong way, it's not going to last. I don't need a certain point level just to look good at some point. I want it to be something that is going to be paying my bills again next month. So I don't even know where I am on time. I just jabbered and oh, it's 9 o'clock on the dot. So I'm I'm done. If anybody has any questions, I didn't get to keep up with the chats. I would have been so confused.
No, perfect. Thank you so much. I feel like people were just dropping their takeaways and the things that they loved. Um, there are just so many good things to your story and lessons that we can all learn. Because we've gone through, I think many of us have gone through similar feelings, and it's a matter of how we interpret those situations and what we do from those situations. And I think it was so good to hear just how you've navigated some of those seasons. Um, even in seasons of doubting or even in seasons of should I step back and just really sensing and praying and
Mm,
committing it to the Lord, I think has been one, a great reminder for myself too. But two, a great encouragement for everyone around us to be like, everyone's journey looks different and it can be done different. And it doesn't have to be this pressure thing because ultimately we are provided for, regardless of our rank. So
yeah.
good. Does anyone have questions?
I see Holly said saving that for my notes. Are you just taking a look or are you considering this? When I when I go through my stories, I just keep it super casual. When I reach out to somebody, I just act like I'm talking to them face to face. Like, hey, I saw you in my stories. I appreciate that so much. Hey, I just have a question. Were you just scrolling or is this something you've been considering? Super casual. And then some people are like, oh, no, sorry, I was just scrolling. I'm like, hey, that's fine. If you change your mind, I'm right here.
That's also super key. I've just been hearing so much lately of being in more conversations. If you are like hesitant to message the story viewers, or you're like, or I've caught myself doing this several times. Oh, I've already talked to them. They don't want Plexus, right? Like I've already asked them. I could ask them again, hey, I noticed you've been seeing my stories. Is this something you're still interested, like you're interested
Yep.
in now? Like you just never know when life changes, when they lose a job, when they have a new symptom or diagnosis. Like people are in all different seasons of life, and we might hit them at that right point for sure. Good. Any other questions for Sarah or her story or anything else?
Amanda said, "You're a different leader than the one I met in convention lobby this summer." I was quitting in my brain. Uh,
And quitting in your brain leads to probably some actions that are different when you were
yeah,
feeling like you were quitting in your brain versus now.
yeah. And that's like my wall right here that you guys can't see. I have the convention contest, and I'm like a serial killer tracker up here. Like I'm tracking, I'm writing things down, I'm tracking for my people, and then I have scripture up here, that points me to the Lord because I don't. It's affirmations, but it's based on Him. You know, I don't really believe in manifesting what I want, but I believe in reminding myself what He says. And so I usually work out right here in this space. So I'm working out, I have to see all of these things. Like God gives the power to get wealth from Deuteronomy. Like if you lack wisdom, ask God, He gives it generously from James. Over and over and over. I'm leaving a legacy for my children. Business building is an assignment. My products add value to people and they glorify God. So I have to read this while I'm working out. And you just have to remind yourself, get so rooted and grounded in why you're here and who you're serving.
So good. Send us a picture of your wall. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I can do that.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
I'll just pray to close us. And again, just thank you for your time, Sarah. That was so good. I know she's been doing night shift work lately, like helping a friend, night shift nursing again. So she's tired, living on the active. Okay. Jesus, thank you for this time. God, I thank you for the words that were shared tonight. God, I thank you for transformation and breakthrough in Sarah's life. God, I thank you for using her, um, not just to bring herself glory, God, but to really ultimately bring you glory, God. I thank you for her openness, um, for her obedience and surrender. God, would you continue to bless her team and bless her new leaders, um, that there would be more lives changed, because of her obedience, because of everyone else's obedience here on the call, God. Um, yeah, would you just meet us where we're at? Remind us of the truth of who you are, of the promises that you've given us, um, that we can actually have faith that those things are true, that we don't have to doubt. God, thank you for equipping us in this season. Thank you for preparing us for what's next, and putting work in front of us that is really good work. That can be honestly such a cool ministry. Jesus, thank you for this night. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, good night. See you later, guys.